Alright, so welcome guys. Hey everyone, welcome to our step-by-step guide to setting up your brand new MTN ZTE MF293N router. So whether you're a tech novice or a seasoned pro, this tutorial will actually guide you through setting up and ensuring that you get online quickly and easily. So let's get started. So the first we're looking at is what is in the box. So I've actually done the unboxing of it, but I'll just be going over this is the charger we have over here. This is actually the router itself with the internet cable, the patch cable that is connected. Then we have the adapter. So this is actually mostly what is in the box. So I'll be removing this aside the carton. Then I'll be having this. So this is what we are going to use to set up our router. So here is I showed you on the setup and the unboxing how to connect these probes. So if you don't know, you just when you unscrew it this way. So this is how it comes. There's a device that usually covers this antenna probe. So what you just bring it, open it, and take this and screw in this way. So this is how you screw the antenna probes over here. So we just screw it and just a quick word. So when we are done with the router, we'll get the power pack. We have made the UPS that comes with the router and plug it at the back of here. You see power supply. We'll plug it. It's plugged in already. Then we'll set it over here. Then we'll get the charger and plug it to our power supply over here, which is what I'm doing now. So when it's gone plugged, I'll take the other end and plug to the UPS. It's plugged. Then the patch cable is what I'll be connecting to my PC over here with this patch cable. Yeah, you can actually use the patch cable or the wireless connection, which is actually over here. You can use this password over here to connect, which I'll be doing the two method. So I'll be doing connecting with this first, then I'll do method of connecting with the patch cable. Should in case whichever one works for you, you can actually try that. So let me go on to connecting with this code over here. So on my system, I'm gonna actually record what is going on. So what we'll do is on my PC, I'm gonna access the IP address of this router from here. So how do I get the IP address? It's actually already itemized in the back here. You see the IP address for you to access it through wireless. It's over here in the back. So let me just go through it and find it out. Okay, now here is actually how you access the router on the internet over here. So if you look here, you will see the IP address written over here. That is 192.168.0.1. So this is actually what I'm gonna enter on my router to access this router when I'm connected. So let's go over to the system for the connection process. So before we go back to the system for connection process, I would like to power on the router. So the router is over here. So how do we turn it on? We just come over here. It's actually off. So on this UPS, we just turn this on and you see the router comes up. So wait for some time to be sure that this Wi-Fi signal is on and data signal is on. So this is showing your data connection that you're connected to your network and strength. So if this is your network strength and this is actually your Wi-Fi connection. So if you turn off your Wi-Fi connection on your router, this actually can broadcast wirelessly. Nobody can connect your router wirelessly, but anyone with the patch cable that is connected and is connected to switch can have access to the internet if there is data subscription. So the network signal just came up. Now we'll actually wait for the Wi-Fi to come up. Now you see the both of the three of them are up and the network signal is blinking. So we can now search for the router on our PC. So let's go back to the PC right now. So should in case for those that will be asking how to connect the SIM card, over here is where you connect your SIM card. You use this nano SIM. If you watch over here, this is the SIM card. It uses nano SIM. So you just plug it. This place that is cut the tampered area on the SIM card over here goes in this way. If you watch, there's a diagram on the router. It's just like this. So you slot in facing the silver coating should be facing up. Then you plug it in and push it in what is gonna click. So this is how you connect your router, your SIM card to your router. So you connect it that way. Then the network has gone out, so I have to restart the router for it because you detect that the SIM card was not plugged in. So that's why network signal is showing red. So I have to restart the router once again, turn it off and turn it on, and what happens. So that's for the signal. So you just notice that when there's no SIM card, it's showing red. So the network signal is showing red, telling that there's no network connection. Then here is actually when you want to connect your router using USB drive. You want to access your router file storage. We'll be talking about that, about the features that came with this router. But these are actually the most important thing you need to know on setting up your router. You just need to do is to come over here and click on the Wi-Fi connection. Click over here. You see the router signal is actually here. We'll double click on it. I don't want to connect. You can actually, this icon allows you to connect automatically. So anytime your router is within the range, if this checkbox is checked, your router connects automatically to your router. So we just turn it off and then turn it on. Then you see we chat for the network and it's back up. So this is router over here. Click on it. I'll not check this on, but if you can check it on to actually connect automatically anytime you are within the range of the router. So you click on connect. So the Wi-Fi key I'll be entering is that key that's at the back of the router, which I showed you guys before. So this is actually what we'll be connecting. So the Wi-Fi key is what I'll be typing over here. So when I'm done typing it, we'll click next. So it's showing unable to connect. We'll have to go back again, click on it and connect and type the router again. Most times it behaves that way. So you just have to enter it twice. Press enter. It's now connected over here. So here is the router is connected. You can actually view the properties, which is what basic settings I do on router. Mostly when I'm connected to any Wi-Fi connection, I actually turn my metered connection on. So I turn it on so that I won't consume much data. So this is what I actually do to turn it on. Then over here, in case you don't know the IP address to connect to, when you scroll down here, you can see the IP address. This is actually your DNS server. So if we type this, if I copy this and paste on our browser, we can actually access the router details. So I'll just close this, open my browser, come over here, type the IP address, paste and go, and voila, we are now connected to the router. So it's asking me for my password, which I know the default password is admin, which is what I'll type and press proceed, and it says no. I'll want to check what I typed is cap lock, so it's supposed to be lowercase. So I'll go back, I'll say okay, go back and type admin but lowercase, press enter. So we are now logged into the router. You can see our mobile number is here for the router. So here is actually where you can change your login password, which is this password you actually use to log in right now. So before I begin this setup configuration here, let me show you now guys how to connect with the cable. So I'll be disabling this. I'll just turn off my Wi-Fi, then show you guys how to connect using the cable. So we just showed you guys how to connect using the wireless connection. Now I'll show you guys how to connect using the cable. So what you just need to do is just take your patch cable, one end of the patch cable, plug it into this internet port where you see the WLAN, click on it, and when it clicks, it's plugged in. Then you look for the same port on your laptop. Mine is over here, you can see it here. So I'll just take it this way, put it upside down, just slot it in this way, push it down and slot it, it clicks. So you watch, there's a signal connection. This one is telling that there's a communication going on and the white light over here shows that they are connected. So you can see the light is blinking, telling me that it's signal communication, and at the back of the router you see that it's actually blinking white, means that there is connection established. So I'll go over now to show you guys how to set up the router. So here now you can see over here that the internet is connected, and you can see the Wi-Fi network name. So we'll just refresh this, and we have to enter our password again. But I have this saved. I'll just click this and click on proceed. So we are now logged in into our router. So these are the two ways you can log in into the router using your internet connection or your wireless connection. So now we are logged in. Just a quick one, things we need to look at for the basic setup needed. You can actually change your login, which the default one that comes is admin. So you can actually change it to whichever one you want to use, but I'll leave it the same way. Then the network name. So this is actually MTN 4G with the router whatever they put here to actually identify that this is our router. So I can actually come over here and change this to whichever name I want to change it. I can change it to Crispire Tech. So router. So this is actually it. So I just changed it. Then we have three ways to actually set up the security mode. Now I'll be doing a separate video explaining all this security mode, but the most important thing to know that when you keep it open, anybody can connect your router and your privacy is at stake, because hackers can go into your router and access your information when you're sending packet to browser and be able to get your keystrokes and any information that is sent. But we have the WPA, which is actually good, but not that as strong as the WPA2. If there is WPA3, that's actually the best. So we just select WPA2. Then here is actually where we type in our password, which I can type our password. I will not likely display it. So we'll just type in the password over here, then click on apply. If I click on it, it's gonna reconnect all connected devices we need to reconnect using this router. So if you click on yes, so your router logs out and you need to connect back using that password. So if I click on yes, the router restarts, success. So but we will not be logged out. Why? Because I'm connected using the patch cable, so we can't be logged out because we are connected using the patch cable. Then I will just go over here. But if you come to our Wi-Fi connection to be sure that it's changed, if you come over here and turn on your Wi-Fi network, click here, and you see you are saying Keyspire router. So the MTN is no more showing. So this is how you actually rename your router. So that's the basic configuration you want to do on your router. Then you can skip all this. When you are done doing that, close this. So here is actually your main router phase, where you can see how many devices are connected. One is connected because it's showing a patch cable. Then no mobile device is connected. Then here is your download and upload speed of the router. Here is actually where you turn on your network. This is actually data connection. You turn it on. Here is your Wi-Fi settings. Then this is the statistics, long range, and your parental control, which you can set up. Your SMS, your phone book, because it's a SIM card that is inside, so you can actually send SMS and contact too from the SIM card. The advanced settings, USSD to type in case you want to purchase data or make inquiry. Then here is actually where you want to purchase data bundle. So we'll be going over the basic settings over here. So here is the parental control, where you can actually set an network access policy that allows students to actually have access to the router. So the triangle forbids people that access to data. Whatever data they are used on social day will not be saved. So you can actually do that, turn it out, so it do not allow anybody to browse without data. So I'm not actually doing that, but you can do that in case you want to set online parental control when your kids actually have access to the internet and when they don't. So you can use this. It's a good one that's actually comes with this router. It's a nice one, it's a nice feature. The previous one doesn't have this feature. Then you have the SMS, where you can receive messages of your data and you know when your subscription is due and all of that. So you can see that over here. Then here is your phone book. where you can have access to your contact that you see. Normally the default contact saved in every MTN SIM card is voicemail, which is 100. Then you have access to advanced settings. Here is actually where you can set the Wi-Fi coverage. Is it long range, medium Wi-Fi coverage, or short Wi-Fi coverage? You can do that. Then you can actually do Wi-Fi awake settings. You can enable it. So what it does is let you connect your router to any Wi-Fi network. It should come up. So you can do that, or you can't leave that. Then here is router settings, where you can actually, you have your default IP. You can't change this one unless you want to assign. These are actually the default IP address and the subnet mask. These settings can only be changed when the modem is disconnected. So if you actually remove your SIM card, you can actually make changes to all this, and this actually doesn't need to bother you much. Then here is your firewall, where you can set port forwarding, IP address you don't want to browse. You can set firewall over here, port filtering, port forwarding. You can do all those things here. We'll be talking more about this. Then system settings, where you can disable remote management via WLAN, and then ping Wi-Fi filter. We'll be talking more about this. So here is actually where you can actually update your router. So you can actually click here to check for an update if there's a new version. If there is none, you just go there. So it's actually good to update your router always, should in case there's any new version of updates gets updated. So no new version found, we just click OK. Then here's other settings, so you can reset your router. You want to do that, you can restart your router from here if you want to do that. Pin management, you can set pin on your router. Then you have other ones, key logs, in case there's any error that comes up, that is where it's saved. So that's for the advanced settings. Then you have your USSID, check your airtime balance. You can just use it to check airtime balance. It goes through and it checks your airtime balance. Your balance is this. Then you can do this to check your data balance and timeout. It actually sends you a message. So this is a new router. We have data subscription that comes with the router already, so that's why the data balance is not showing anyways. Here is actually your data bundle. If you want to purchase data bundle, it takes you to MTN website, where you can actually purchase data online. So it's loading. Then here is your information you want to know, your hardware version, software version, and every other information you want to know about your router. So this is actually the basic settings. Then here is actually where you can actually look at the wireless mode and your light settings. This is actually your Wi-Fi connection mode, automatic or manual. So this is actually set on automatic, the connection mode. Then you have your network selection, whether you want it automatic and or not automatic. So you see this red icon is telling you, notice this almost is saying this setting cannot be changed when it can only be changed when the modem is disconnected. So if I go to the router over here and turn off this, so I've disconnected my internet. So here it's actually showing disconnected. So if you go over to those connection mode, you see that you can actually make the changes now. So they are disconnected. That's why you can make the changes even on your network. You can actually come here and choose 4G only, which network selection you want to use. I'll leave that in automatic. Then here is actually your APN access point, which is configured by MTN already. Then you go to Wi-Fi settings. This is where you can actually enable multi-SSID switch. You can enable it, and you can disable it. So what it does is it creates multiple SSID so that anybody can connect. If you have guests, like for instance, if you create a guest, is disabled because if you click on here, multi SSID must be set up. So if you click on multi SSID, click on connect. So what it does is it creates a switch where you can set up a guest router where your guests can have access to. So if you watch here, this is actually _2. So if we go to our Wi-Fi connection, turn off our router and turn it on to Wi-Fi connection to see the signals that are on, you can see the connection too. So you can name this guest. So this actually allows you to actually give your guest access to the router. So you can actually turn on this and turn off this. So you have maximum of 32 channels or 32 devices that can get connected to this guest. So you can limit it to 1 or 2, whichever will suit you. So when you are done, you apply. So this is actually what you can do on the guest SSID. This is a cool feature that came with this new modern router. You can do that. Then here too, you can actually set how many devices that can connect to your router from here. Then WPS is actually where you can actually set whether you want to use pin to connect. On the router, you see the WPS button I talked about is actually when you want to use pin, you type the pin. So when you press that button on the router, it allows you to actually enter the pin. So if you enter the pin, instead of entering the password for the router, you can actually connect using this. Then you have advanced settings where you can set your frequency. This router is actually only 2.4 giga bandwidth. It doesn't have 5.0 gigahertz, probably because of the Cat4 router it is, and also I'm presuming the probes I talked about earlier, that one is for 5 gigahertz, the other one is for 4, probably maybe is for long distance and short distance, which we looked over. So that then your region is actually set to Nigeria and your frequency is actually left at auto. So these are actually some basic settings you can do on your router. In the next video, we'll be doing an overview on what is the best recommended settings for the router. I just don't want to make this video long. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you.